So let me go ahead and get my YouTube video pulled up on my phone so I can see your guys' comments. Let's see. Refresh. And there it is. All right, so let's see who's joined us. Who is online with us? No one sounded off yet. Give you guys a couple seconds to join. I haven't even finished cleaning up my mess from my last video. But I did swap out Skeletor's head. Oh, much better than this. This is from the Masterverse line. It's this bluish green Skeletor right here. And I stole his head. And I might steal his armor for somebody else later on. But he's a great figure for customizing pieces. I love his ankle pieces here. They're great too. We're not here for this. We're here for the floor supports. But I just wanted to show you guys just a quick head swap on that 2000X Skeletor. And of course I did a weapon swap too on him. Oh, looks so much better. He's probably going to be my go-to Skeletor for a while now. Anyway, there we go. So, floor supports. So I'm sitting here, and I'm getting annoyed because, there's another Havoc staff on the floor. Because these floors just keep getting so flimsy. They keep flipping and flopping. So you can see before I put the support in there. Now they all fell over. How flimsy these floors are. There's just not a lot to them. So I was going to take and create something that will keep these floors from being so flopsy. And right now my printer is in the middle of printing more of these floorboards for the upper floor for the elevator shaft. And so I didn't want to interrupt it and print things, but I have ideas of what to print for these and some really cool ideas. But in the meanwhile, I thought, you know what? I need something. I need something. So what I did was I took my ruler, or actually in this case a tape measure, and I measured how tall they are. So I wanted to figure that out anyway. So I basically took this and measured it like that, and found out this side was about 75 to the bottom of this, to the floor that I created. So for you guys, it'll be a little different if you don't have my floors. And then this one, when I measured, when I pushed it up to the right spot, it was about 90 millimeters from the, or 9 centimeters, 90 millimeters from the floor that I made to the top up here. And so I decided to take and look in the closet for some coat hangers and find a color I liked. And I really liked this kind of grayish. It's kind of a bluish gray, and it's just kind of cool. So it looks like it could be stone, maybe, maybe not. Hey, howdy. Or hey, James, thanks for joining us. Leo X-Rocks, you're back. Hey, thanks. And then what I did was I took my heat gun. There it is. Boop, and I heated up all the way around the coat hanger on this one corner here, and then took my wire cutters, laid them flat, and basically chopped it. You don't want to cut it while it's cold or it will snap and crack. You want to do it when it's hot and heat it up. So then after I cracked that on that side, I took my measuring tape. Where'd it go? I lost it already. Anyway, here's a different measuring tape. It's dropped. And I measured out my 75 and my 90, took a black permanent marker and marked it. And then I had my different lengths I needed. Now, of course, after I cut the coat hanger, they all looked like this. Which is, at first it's like, well, heck, that's no good. But you know what? You could still hang up shirts with these. So I went and hung up some of my shirts with the ones that I had left over. And this was kind of the quick fix I did way back from my classics too. You can see where I cut it right there. And so how do they fit? Well, let's take a look and see. This dude decided to take a dive off the table as well. Oh, stay in. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to stand any more figures in here. It's getting kind of crowded. We'll move all these guys out of here for now until I get these pieces put in there. So, here they are. Too short, too tall. And I put the two tall ones in the corner of each side of this floor. Just like that. If you put it in the center, you can. And of course, the center will work even better. But then it's just in the way of everything. You can see how much stress is on this poor little beam. So I put it here on the side. It has less stress. And yeah, it probably would have been better if I would have... Actually, let me switch these. I forgot. This side needs more support because the throne is on this side. And this side just has the trap door. There we go. So, yes, they're kind of in the way. And yes, it'd be a great thing to use when He-Man wants to take and knock someone off the top floor, just to take and kick out the support underneath it. Now, of course, this one's kind of weird because the castle's not connected in the corner. There we go. So it does cause a lot of pressure. And then this side, same thing. Just stick it up in there and then stick it on the floor. And bada bing, bada boom. Oh, look at this. It's funny. This plastic is so goopy that you can actually take, if you have permanent marker on it, just wipe it off with your thumb, and usually it comes right off because of the oiliness of this plastic from these coat hangers. It's funny, as a kid I used to use metal coat hangers for all kinds of things, and now that I'm an adult, you can't find the metal ones anymore. Now I'm finding myself using the plastic ones for all kinds of stuff. And there you go. There's some quick supports, and now your floors. This one's still a little flimsy in the middle, but it's more solid than it was. So you can actually stand your figures up without having them going tumbling down every time you go and breathe. Or he's kind of not standing straight anyway. Stand, man. There we go. Much better. Now again, this is not my permanent fix. This is just an interim fix till I print my parts on my printer. But for right now, they work. Dun-da-da. So there you go. There's a quick fix. Coat hangers. Hey, Steven, you're late. That's okay. Hey, Galactic Motion Inc. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Jason. Thanks for being here. Yeah, and I almost grabbed the brown coat hangers. I was debating back and forth whether I wanted to make it gray or brown. So it's kind of funny. You could just go buy whatever color coat hanger you wanted to, and Walmart has the 10 packs of these pretty cheap. So if you were to go to Walmart and pick them up, and it's funny is I use these for so much. In fact, the other side right here works for making handles of battle axes. If I ever showed you that, let me show you the dual purpose use for this coat hanger. Let me go and grab one of my battle axe wielding figures that use that. Ooh, wow. They got a cool box that I just looked at. Okay. Ooh. It's funny, I got one of the figures in the other room on my special display shelf, but I think I have one in here too. Let's see. Yes, here is the axe. The axe. And you can see how I have that coat hanger piece right here. And you're probably wondering why. Why you have that like that. Let me show you. So we got these really cool figures, like this DC figure right here. Which he is just totally awesome. But he has a closed fist. And I wanted to give him a battle axe so he can fit into the He-Man world. Well, with a closed fist, you got a couple options. One, you could try to find a custom hand somewhere to, you know, purchase and use and everything else. But trying to find one like that might be kind of difficult. Or two, you could drill a hole in his hand. Well, I did not want to destroy the original figure. So instead, we know a lot of our swords have like these protection pieces on it over the top to protect your knuckles. I thought, what a great idea. I'll just put that just like this on his hand. And it just slides. Of course, I won't do it now that you guys, there we go. It just slides right on over his hand, just like that. And now it looks like he's holding it with a thing to protect his knuckles. And now he can be in the Eternia world with a giant battle axe. And so that's what I use the other side of the coat hanger for. Then I just added some O-rings to make it look cool and then painted the whole thing silver. Hold on a second, I'm going to grab one more figure while you guys are looking at my Castle Grayskull supports and the other uses for the coat hanger. There we go. Here is my Hulk that has come to Eternia. Oh, the Eternian Hulk. And I wanted to give him a battle axe too, as you can see. And I also gave him the armor from Titus and the wristbands from Titus too. And just kind of squished it all on him. And then gave him also a battle axe. Now I did weather his battle axe and make it just a little bit different. So they're not identical. Like I added some different rubber pieces on the top there to kind of make it look a little bit different. But it has the same feature where it just... And it's funny, where I got the idea from this was in the 70s. In the 70s, they had this thing you'd wear on your head like this. And it had a small little thin wire and it had an arrow with one end and an arrowhead on the other. So it looked like the arrow was shot through your head. And I remember that when I was a kid in the 70s. And it's like, you know what? I could do that. Oop. Same idea for this Hulk, and I did it a long time ago with a different Hulk. It was the one that's rotocast. I didn't want to drill a hole in his hand then, and it just works really cool. Yes. I wonder, this guy's pretty heavy. Let's see if these lame supports that I have temporarily could hold up the giant Hulk. Oh, look at that. No flimsiness at all, even with that big heavy figure up there. That is cool. Okay, let's put the one on the other side. Okay, Wonder Bread, you gotta move. Because we are gonna have the duel of the century. Look at that. So these little lame supports do work pretty well. Now I wouldn't put them on the middle floor, because again, the middle floor still has some flimsiness just because I have no supports in the middle. But that's pretty cool. What Hulk is that? This Hulk's actually two Hulks mixed, and I forgot which two I used. On the original head was some little bean head. Let's see if I can find his bean head that I used to have. And I didn't like it, so I actually used... It's this Hulk's head. And I forgot, this was the movie Hulk version that they had from the first movie, I think. And I used his head on this really super veiny body. It had a small little bean head. Yeah, I don't have his bean head anymore. Must be in my pile, my box of scrap stuff. And so then I put Megator's head on this body, you know, because I had, of course, had the opposite. You know, using Megator's armor. So there you go. And yep, he can hold the axe of battle too. It's a little tighter on his fist because his fist is a little taller. Actually, I'm not going to shove it on there. It's like it may be a little bit too tall. Yeah, it is. I'd have to alter it and sand off more of that, but I don't want to alter it because it's made for him. But I could make an alter one. Anyway, again, supports, coat hangers, heat gun, and wire cutters. You can make your own very easily. And remember to measure from the top of this floor right underneath all the way to your floor, whether you have a fake floor like I have here, or all the way to the actual structure where the floor sits on. So then you can just cut those coat hanger pieces as needed. Remember to heat them up first so they don't shatter on you. Yes, the Age of Oldhead. Yep. See, Galactic Motion Inc. Thank you so much. You rock, man. Yeah, I just didn't like the original head he came with. It just looks so weird. It was so small. But this head fits him so nicely, and the color is close enough. I mean, you can hardly tell that the color is a mismatch. The figure's head looks way more yellow than this one does. The head I pulled off it. As you can see, there's some yellowing in the actual Hulk itself. But the head works nicely. So... Man, Galactic Motion Inc., I need you here all the time to answer questions, man. That's cool. All right. Yes, I like to mix my properties, as you guys know. I have Superman figures that fit in the line, and I got, of course, the Hulk. Hoping to get a good She-Hulk. Hopefully mixing the new She-Hulk with the other She-Hulk I have. That'd be cool. But for right now, I can tell these guys are giant orgs too, instead of the Hulk if I wanted to. So it depends whether you want to pretend that they are the giant orgs that are coming to attack, or actually Hulk type creatures. The Bruce Banner Hulk and some other Hulk. Of course, he does look so orgish with that Megator head on him. That head works really good on there too. Now the armor didn't fit because he's a big bruiser, so I did have to use some elastic to hold it, but that still works pretty good. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the Hulks. Hey, welcome from Florida. Yeah, the original headlight didn't belong to a human. That's a good way to put it. It was really strange. I could have sworn I had it tossed in this box, but I must have took it out of the box. I figured I was never going to switch it back. If I make a custom, I like to keep it as original as possible and unaltered. So that's probably why I had it in the box for a long time. You know, it'd be fun to do. I just thought of something. Let's take a Hulk figure and a Battle Cat figure and mix them. Use like a Battle Cat head on a Hulk figure, because that would make more sense. I mean, the Hulk is about the right size if he was to turn into a human and become from Battle Cat to human form. And it's funny, is everybody always takes a little figure the same size, but you think about it, if he turned into a humanoid creature, he'd be huge. So I think that makes more sense to make a Battle Cat figure for He-Man, like this Hulk size, instead of making it regular He-Man size. Planet of Hulks. Like a werewolf. Don't make me angry. Battle Cat to War Cat. There you go. And I know they made that one figure that looks like it turned into Battle Cat that wasn't really a He-Man figure at all. It was Mythic Legions. He wanted to call them Mythic Legends, but I think that's wrong. I think it's Mythic Legions. They made that one, and I almost bought it because it was so cool looking. But looking at this, the more I think about it, it should be some big giant green man, not just a regular size figure. Put your Battle Cat helmet back on. There we go. All right. Anyway, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I wonder who would win between He-Man and the Hulk. That's an excellent question. I guess we'll have to see, won't we? Okay, you can hop back into your box. Let's get out He-Man. Ho-ho! So, He-Man does not have a quick healing power like Wolverine, and we've seen some pretty epic battles between the Hulk and Wolverine. So, I don't know. It depends on which version of He-Man you're talking about. If you're talking about the Filmation He-Man is way overpowered. If you're talking He-Man from the mini comics, I think the Hulk would probably win. If you're talking 2000X He-Man, I think the Hulk would win. But yeah, when you're talking the He-Man from Filmation, I think the Filmation He-Man would win because he moved a planet. I mean, come on. As ridiculous as that is, on a Wind Raider. Which is funny, because the Wind Raider had that good of jets, it could actually hold back a planet. Then you would think that He-Man wouldn't be needed, just push the Wind Raider into the planet. You know, but in Filmation, he stood on the Wind Raider and pushed the planet back into place. And it's like, I think it was a moon or something. It's like, that's just ridiculous. So Pop Actress says Hulk is more powerful than He-Man. Like I said, it depends which He-Man you're talking about. If you're talking Filmation one would win, but again, he's so overpowered, it's just ridiculous. it's funny, when the kids were younger and we would play, there was no Filmation He-Man. That was just a cheat. So even before 2000X He-Man existed, we still did it like the mini comics, where he was just a strong man, maybe as strong as 10 men like Hercules, but not as strong as 1,000 men or something. That's just too crazy. Stand, Tila, stand. There we go. Let's see. Galactic Motion Inc. says like the Hulk would win because in Planet Hulk he took one step and the whole world had earthquakes. That's pretty severe. Yep. Like I said, it just depends on which property you're talking about. That's like, it's funny, the argument all the time, who'd win, He-Man or Superman? Well, again, it depends on which Superman, and it depends on which He-Man again. A lot of Superman incarnations, he's weakness is magic. He-Man has a magic sword. If he got close, his magic sword could slice through Superman's skin without any problem. But if Superman flew in the air, he could blast He-Man with his laser vision and just totally melt him. So it all depends on how smart Superman is. And it also depends on how smart He-Man is and what he knows. If He-Man doesn't know that his weakness is magic, he throws his battle axe, and if his battle axe isn't magic, that would just ricochet off Superman. So only his sword could do damage. And so, yeah, if he threw his sword, technically he could kill Superman. But again, I think sometimes it's kind of funny, the different stuff. Yeah, and again, I'm not sure between the Hulk and He-Man. I mean, like I said, there's just too many variables. One is that He-Man could actually re-heal just by saying by the power of Grayskull. We've seen him get re-infused with power again and again when he says that. So it's like Goku eating sensu beans. So, I mean, the Hulk could totally pulverize him, and as long as he could still utter the words, by the power of Grayskull, then the Hulk would have to start all over again. But then, of course, the Hulk has unlimited gamma radiation. So, who knows? It'd be a fun stop motion to make. Superman is not smart, laughing out loud. Just kidding. Not a Superman fan. That is true. He could carve out the side of a mountain with his bare fists. But I don't think he can move a planet. So, yeah. And who knows what kind of rock that was. I mean, it might have been pumice. There you go. And we already know Eternians are already extra strong. I mean, look at them. I mean, even before he got the power harness, he already looked like this. So I'm imagining their bones are probably already more dense to begin with, too. And we see Eternians without any powers get thrown against walls and get thrown across everywhere and everything else, and they survive. So I think just the standard Eternian would totally beat any human, hands down, because their bones are probably denser, their muscles are a lot bigger, they have a lot more advantages than just standard humans. And look, even a fish guy who swims in water has all these muscles, and it's like, dude, you swim in water. You have no need of all these giant muscles anywhere. So, but again, in the actual toy from the 80s, he was not quite this muscular, but he was still more muscular than Beastman, but not as much as He-Man. Prince Adam and Dr. Banner have one thing in common. No one could put them together as they are the same person. Oh, no one could put together they are the same person. Some people say that Batman beats Spider-Man, which I just don't get. Oh, yeah. Yeah, with Spider-Man and Batman, I know this is not about this video, but it's kind of a fun conversation, is Spider-Man's not experienced enough. I think Batman would beat him in a fight just because of his knowledge fighting skills and stuff, and Batman wouldn't allow Spider-Man to use his superpowers against him. He would always keep him, you know, probably spraying some kind of oils and explosives and everything else. Yeah, I think Batman would beat Spider-Man as well, only because of Spider-Man's inexperience. But an older Spider-Man and one that was wiser and knew about Batman could probably be Batman. But the young Spider-Man we know, I don't think so. I think Batman might have the upper edge. All right, Mattel, if you're watching, make us one of these. We'd love it in Masterverse, and we'd love it in Origins. Make it happen, especially in Masterverse. Then I could use the parts to mix with some classic figures and make my classics version. Oh, that would rock so much. Batman beat Superman. He sure did. Yeah. Yes, if they had an arm wrestling match, Spider-Man would win. But if they had a fight, there's more to fights than just strength. I mean, you also have your other abilities too. And that's why I was thinking Batman would win, just because of experience. All right. Anyway, fun talking to you guys. Hopefully I'll have some more videos later. I really want to open up a Mantena today. That will be fun. That will be cool. As like I told you before, my friend called him Sphinx Store. And I could see why. It's kind of funny. And so we'll have fun with that. All right. Until next time, good journey. The prettiest female motor character is 2000X Sorceress. Yeah, I think you're right, Jason. Agree to disagree. Yeah, until they actually, recreate or make somehow genetically advanced humans and fight them out, we'll never know. So, and there's always, luck of the draw too. I mean, Spider-Man might get the upper hand on Batman before Batman knows who he is by webbing him and getting him trapped. There's all kinds of things that could happen. You look at the movie Troy, for instance, when he ran with his sword and killed that guy at the beginning. It was a surprise attack, and surprise attacks always have an advantage. My light's dying. It's time to charge it. And I brought my charger in this room for the next video, so it will be nicely charged with my AA light. AA! There we go. It is now charging. There we go. Takes about 15-20 minutes to charge. And I will see you guys for real this time next video. Bye now. Good journey.